Natural Hair Care and Styling Masterclass being held presently at the Empress Network at empressblack.com, as well as on Patreon at patron.com/experienceblack. We are using our My Lady's Natural Hair Care and Braiding textbook for the theory portion. We're reading from that. Um, we did a live pardon me, I ate some almonds that were a little dry before I went live. But we did this lovely. This is a custom unit that I made with the bundles that I offer in my online boutique. And we are turning some 22-inch, um, was it kinky curly textured hair into a curly afro with a rod set. So we're going to see how this turns out tomorrow. If you want to see the video of the process, which was our first demo in this masterclass, then you can find that within our Empress archives and updates on the welcome page of our website. Okay, you just scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll find our archives and updates, and you'll be able to find also all of the previous videos, of us reading from the theory book. Now on Patreon, I included the actual PDF of this entire book. So for those of you who would prefer to read it on your own, or you want to read along, you want to check out some of the images and the details, or anything like that, you'll have that option, okay? And it is available to our free members, so you don't necessarily have to get the membership subscription to access that, okay? I just wanted to highlight that. So we left off last week with infection control principles and practices, and this week we are picking up with chapter 3, basic principles for personal and professional success. All right, so our learning objectives for this chapter, upon completion, we should be able to list the principles that contribute to personal and professional life management skills, discuss the practical steps to success, explain how to set long-term and short-term goals, define ethics, discuss the most effective ways to manage time, define personality development and attitude, discuss how to build client trust, describe how to maintain a professional attitude, describe how to nurture the client's total well-being. Some of the key terms, or our vocabulary words we like to call them, within this chapter are aggressive, overreact, assertive, effective, beauty, wellness, ethics, game plan, goal setting, life skills, passive, underreact, perfectionism, prioritize, procrastination, reflective listening, role playing, self esteem, and visualize success. Okay? So, I might end up chiming in a little bit on this chapter because I have some real professional experience, in this industry as well as others. And I feel like a lot of the life skills and professional skills that are needed within this industry are used, in other areas, in other professions, industries, etc. Okay? So this could be more than just people who are interested in, natural hair care and styling. Okay? Pardon me, let me take a sip of this water because I be trying to get a quick snack in between sometimes, and I'm like, I need to slow down, honey. All right, and I gotta hurry up because I need to charge the battery on the device that we're using today. I wasn't satisfied with the quality of some of our other videos. We had some issues with the videos cutting off, or the reception not being as clear and consistent as we needed. So, as I think I shared, I decided to go with a different device, and so far so good. So let's go ahead. But the charger isn't that long, so we're gonna go ahead and flow through this. Okay. All right. So life has many challenges, and going to school to learn a new skill, is just one of many that you will face as you walk this journey. Developing practical life and work skill is vital to your success. Life skills are difficult, and hard and fast rules that apply to more structured industries are sometimes absent in the salon. By its nature, the salon is a creative workplace where you are expected to exercise your artistic talents. The salon is also a highly social atmosphere that requires strong self discipline and excellent people skills. Besides making a solid connection with each client, you must always stay focused on the task at hand. You must display competence, sensitivity, awareness, and enthusiasm every time you service the client. There are distinctive attributes in the relationship between the natural stylist and the client. In general, the beauty industry focuses primarily on efficiency and services that enhance the outer self. In the field of natural hair care, the stylist must be able to recognize the interrelationship between the client's hair, body, emotional, and physical environment in order to achieve the best results and have a satisfied customer. To the natural hair stylist, true beauty is the balance between the inner self and the outer self. Providing excellent service may encourage the client to begin her journey. No matter how you feel personally, no matter how tired you may be, or how many hours you have worked, you must always focus on the client and provide excellent service. Life skills are really the tools to manage, address, or handle any challenge or difficulty that you may encounter personally or in your career. A successful personal life and career are totally dependent on self discipline, respect for others, good manners, and a positive attitude. I believe that heartily. Okay, that was the intro. And I'm not going to do too much, commentating here. But again, I want to repeat those: self discipline, respect for others, good manners, and a positive attitude. My brand, Experience Black, which started out as Black being an acronym for beautiful looks, always created kindly, is basically what that, you know, um, represents and embodies, kindly from the standpoint, yes, on the more gentle, holistic, natural side when using products and techniques and tools and so forth. But also, of course, with the attitude, your character, your personality, you know, um, how you're interacting and, respecting the clients that are paying you for a service ultimately. So we'll go into that when it makes sense later down the line, but I just wanted to add that in there because that does matter. Okay. Why study basic principles for personal and professional success? The natural stylist should study and have a thorough understanding of the basic principles for professional and personal success to have the best start to achieve all your life's goals. These fundamental rules of order are principles that will follow you throughout your life. The following principles are tools to succeed in the salon and within your life. Okay, so number one is practice of good life skills. will lead to a more satisfying and productive career in the natural hair care industry. The natural stylist works with a variety of personality types. Having good life skills will help you to have positive and productive interactions with your clients. That is so true. When you're accepting new clients and meeting new people, you know, and sometimes dealing with people that you've been dealing with for a while, you meet different personalities at different times. That's a real thing too, okay? Different seasons, different reasons. Working well with work associates and management will require effective life skills. Definitely a conversation I've had recently, in real life. Having good life management skills is a personal decision to have balance and wellness in your personal life as well as in relationships with others. Okay? And, some of these things with me working in the industry, for a good 20 years, at different levels from an assistant shampoo girl student, kind of like intern, all the way up to having my own book and my own suite and my own assistant type of stuff. So, with that, there's things that I just read off that I most definitely had to have the skills to effectively manage here very recent, real time in my career, okay? Life skills. Having life skills is having the ability to manage your life successfully in order to resolve social issues. These abilities include anger management, money management, communication skills, conflict resolution, career management, and other essential life components that extend through your entire life. The following attributes are just a few of the life skills you will need to be successful in life and in the salon. Have good self awareness, have good self esteem, genuinely care about servicing and helping others, make and maintain good, healthy friendships, have a good sense of humor when difficulties arise, maintain a cooperative and positive attitude, have a strong work ethic and principles, have a strong sense of responsibility, successfully adapt to change and to challenging people, create goals and complete them, become more organized so that you're not distracted or confused, and use your common sense or sound practical judgment when making decisions. The road to success. Though it is the most tangible form of success, money is not the only thing that matters in achieving your goals. In operating a profitable salon business, money is certainly a necessity, but defining success is a very personal experience. Some basic principles form the foundation to all personal and business success. The path to success can begin with the following principles. Build self-esteem. Self-esteem is based on inner strength, respect for yourself, and a trust in your ability to achieve your goals. Visualize success. To imagine or visualize is to create a mental picture of your dream salon or career. It begins with trusting in your ability to achieve your goals. It all begins with knowing that if you can conceive an idea, you can achieve your goals. Build on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Do the things that make you feel good, support your positive self-image, and let these things feed your soul. The more you do things that uplift and support your self-image, the better you will get at it. Invest in yourself. Take the time to participate in activities that replenish you and you are good at doing. Be kind to yourself. Overly self critical thinking or negative thoughts will work against you, so don't beat yourself up with negative thoughts. Mistakes happen, and when they do, learn from them and correct them. Tell yourself you will do better next time. Practice new behaviors. Creating success is a skill. It takes time to learn, but you can develop your skill for success by practicing positive new behaviors. Positive new behaviors might include being on time, using better grammar, and standing tall and erect. Keep your personal life separate from your work. Talking about coworkers, associates, or management is counterproductive. It only harms the work environment, it does not help. Avoid all salon gossip. Find balance. To be successful, a person needs a balance between work and personal time. Know when to put down the appointment book or comb to enjoy your friends, family, social entertainment, and activities. Good manners and respect for self and others are vehicles to success. Exercise good manners by using words like please, thank you, and excuse me. Displaying good manners and a respectful attitude are the greatest tools of influence in the salon. Practice reflective listening by listening to the client and repeating in your own words what you think the client has told you. This is the first step to creating a connection with your client. Stay productive. Three bad habits can keep you from maintaining peak performance: procrastination, perfectionism, and lack of a game plan. You will see an almost instant improvement in your productivity when you eliminate these behaviors. Number one, procrastination is putting off until tomorrow what you can do today. This destructive habit is a characteristic of poor study and work habits. For example, I'll study tomorrow instead of today. Make this your motto: do the worst first. The project you most want to avoid doing is the one that you must do first. Get it out of the way, and then every task you do after that becomes easier. Number two, perfectionism. Perfectionism is an unhealthy compulsion to do things perfectly. Success is not defined as doing everything perfectly. In fact, risk necessary for growth and improvement. Taking calculated risk is a part of every successful career or business. The best definition of success is not giving up, even when things get really tough. And number three, lacking a game plan. Having a game plan is the conscious act of planning your life instead of letting things just happen. Although the overall game or life plan is usually organized into large blocks of time, 5 to 10 years, it is just as important to set daily, monthly, and yearly goals. Where you want to be in your career 5 years from now? What do you have to do this week, this month, and this year to move closer to your goal? Goal setting. Some people never have a fixed goal in mind. They go through life one day at a time without really deciding what they want, where they can find it, or how they are going to live their lives once they get it. They drift aimlessly from one activity to the next. Does this describe you, or do you have direction, drive, desire, and a dream? What vision do you have for your future? Do you have a reasonable idea of how to attain your goals? Goal setting is the identification of long and short term goals that help you decide what you want out of your life. When you know what you want, you can draw a circle around your destination and chart the best course to get you there. By mapping out your goals, You will see where you need to focus your attention and what you need to learn in order to fulfill your dreams. How goal setting works. There are two types of goals, as we stated earlier, short and long term. An example of a short term goal is to get through a competency exam successfully. Another short term goal would be graduating from school. Short term goals are usually considered to be those you wish to accomplish in a year or less. Okay? All right, so we have a FYI insert here about real life goal setting. Many salon managers help Many salon managers help you set goals based on the salon's criteria. One common goal is for team members to sell retail products to a specific number or percentage of clients or in an amount equal to a percentage of billed services. For example, stylists might be required to retail at least 30% of gross. Another common salon goal is that a technician should be booked a certain amount of time and maintain a specific client retention rate. Usually, you cannot raise your prices unless you are booked 80 to 90% of the time and retain about 70% of your clients. Goals that salons set are almost always tied to your income. In turn, goals that technicians will set for themselves are often based on what they want to earn. Salon managers will help you break down financial goals into attainable daily goals. For example, if you want to gross 10,000 more a year, you need to earn an additional $27.39 per day. Of course, you don't work 7 days a week. A more realistic number is based on working 5 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. You need to gross $38.46 more per day. And fortunately, there are many different ways to do it in the salon business. You can sell retail to half your clients. You can upsell braiding services and back bar treatments, or you can get more clients. And that's what I love about this industry because there are most definitely, in my perspective, an abundance of opportunities for you to, increase your income. You know, the back bar, what they stated is pretty much the shampoo experience. So if someone needs some sort of treatment, conditioning, a deep conditioner or something like that, if you have the quality products where you can, upgrade the ticket, the price, add-ons. Also, if you have retail products, whether they are hair care products for your clients to use at home or, protective, like scarves and bonnets and things to help preserve the style. If you have those types of things available, for sale or for retail, these are ways that you can, increase your income, your revenue, okay? And of course, offering, referral bonuses and discounts and stuff to clients who refer their friends to you or their family and so forth, where you can increase, your clientele and your book more often. Of course, that always helps too. Okay. All right. So our long-term goals are measured in larger sections of time: 5 years, 10 years, or even longer. An example of a long-term goal is becoming a salon owner in 5 years. Once you have organized your thinking around your goals, write them down in short-term and long-term columns and divide each set of goals into workable segments. In this way, your goals will not seem out of sight or overwhelming. For example, your long-term goals should be to get your license to practice natural hair care and braiding. At first, getting this license might seem to require an overwhelming amount of time and effort. However, when you separate this goal into short-term goals, such as going to class on time, completing homework assignments, and mastering techniques, you see that each step on the way to the long term goal can be accomplished without too much difficulty or stress. The important thing to remember about goal setting is to plan and to re examine it often to make sure that you are staying on track. Even people who have fame, fortune, and widespread respect continue to set goals for themselves. Although they may adjust their goals and action plans as they go along, successful people know that goals move them toward additional successes. All right, so now we're focusing on time management. One thing that all time management experts agree on is that each of us has an inner organizer. When we pay attention to our natural rhythms, we can learn how to manage our time efficiently, allowing us to reach our goals faster with less frustration. Here are some of the most effective ways to manage time. Number one, learn to prioritize by ordering tasks on your to-do list from most important to least important. Number two, when designing your time management system, make sure it will work for you. For example, if you are a person who needs a fair amount of flexibility, schedule in some blocks of unstructured time. Number three, never take on more than you can handle. Learn to say no firmly, but kindly and mean it. You will find it easier to complete your task if you limit your activities and do not spread yourself too thin. Number four, learn problem solving techniques that will save you time and needless frustration. Number five, give yourself some downtime whenever you are frustrated, overwhelmed, worried, or feeling guilty. You lose valuable time and energy when you are in a negative state of mind. Unfortunately, in some situations, such as when you are in the classroom, you cannot get up and walk away. To handle these difficult times, try practicing the technique of deep breathing. Just fill your lungs as much as you can and then exhale slowly. After about 5 to 10 breaths, you will usually find that you have calmed down and your inner balance has been restored. Okay. Number six, carry a notepad, an organizer, or your electronic notepad with you at all times. You never know when a good idea might strike or when you will need to add a task to your schedule. Write these things down before they slip your mind. Number seven, make daily, weekly, and monthly schedules that show exam times, study sessions, and other regular commitments. Plan your leisure time around these commitments rather than the other way around. And number eight, identify times during the day when you are typically energetic and times when you typically want or need to relax. Plan your schedule accordingly. Okay? All right, so we have a focus on section here, and there's an activity that you can take a look at if you're interested in. Like I said, the PDF is available. This is chapter 3, page 63, and you can find that on Patreon, okay? But the focus for the goal is determine whether your goal setting plan is an effective one by asking yourself these key questions. Are there specific skills I will need to learn in order to meet my goals? Is the information I need to reach my goals readily available? Am I willing to seek out a mentor or a coach to enhance my learning? What is the best method or approach that will allow me to accomplish my goals? And am I open to finding better ways of putting my plan into practice? Okay, those are definitely good questions to consider. Oh, I stopped at 8, but there's more. Okay, so number 9, reward yourself with a special treat or activity for work well done and time managed efficiently. Number 10, do not neglect physical activity. Remember that exercise and recreation stimulate clear thinking and efficient planning. I don't want to get spiritual over here, but amen, amen to that one. Okay, so, I also do readings on the spiritual side of things on the website within our Oracle Empress Tools page. And I pretty much do collective and personal readings, and I shared in that the shift in my energy and how I was able to release, some, heavy, dense energy that I woke up with today from, going to the fitness center and using these boxing gloves that were given to me as a gift from a very special friend and coach and trainer, all of the above, years ago. And, they fallen apart because they done got used, practicing a great deal. But, they're still usable. So I had them in the top of my closet. I haven't, put them on. It's probably been at least a year or so. And I finally took them out the bag and took them to the boxing equipment today. And I just let out some pent up energy, negative energy, okay, in a healthy way. Self-defense is how I was introduced to, boxing training wise. But I found that it's something that I actually really enjoy. Not just watching other fighters that are great like Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather and Clarissa Shields. Shout out to her, Yeah, all that. But releasing that energy in a healthy way. I usually go walking, but I needed a little bit more than a walk today. So that's where the self-awareness component comes in, to give your body what it needs to decompress, because you don't want to be taking that type of energy. Like I had clients that reached out to me that I was not in shape to communicate with, prior to doing that work. I had a Zoom meeting, this morning that I was not as present as I normally am, or as, just there, just present. I mean, and engaging and stuff as I normally am, because it was a gradual process. I left from the fitness center. I didn't even get to shower and change my clothes yet because it wasn't enough time. But after the shower, after I released some needed tears, okay, I started feeling better little by little, and I was able to responsibly and professionally communicate, with my clients and so forth. So that's a message for who it is for, whether at the time that you're getting this or later down the line. You never know. But take care of your mental and physical health and well-being, emotional too, and spiritual. They all go together. Okay? We don't just work to just make money and pay bills and die. Okay? We got to take care of us. That is important. I'm just throwing that in there before we go to ethics. All right? All right. So, ethics are a set of standards, moral judgments, and compliances determined by the State Board for the practice and licensing of natural hair care and braiding. There are standards of behavior that professional hair care specialists are expected to reflect. Ethics are not just rules and regulations, but informal expectations of a professional in the industry. Ethics are the morals, principles, or code of conduct that we live by. As a business person, the stylist must handle transactions with many different people effectively. Co-workers, managers, clients, repair people, and sales distributors are the kinds of people you can come in contact with daily. All right, so we have another FYI before we go to code of conduct is real life time management. In the salon, the most important aspect of time management is staying on schedule with your bookings so that you can greet each client at the scheduled appointment time. This means completing the service during the time allotted. Some salon, some salons book haircuts on the hour. Others book them in intervals of 45 minutes. Accomplished technicians do a cut in half an hour, but they usually schedule clients for longer so they can upsell more services if the opportunity presents itself. Making sure that you arrive at the salon on time, starting your first client as soon as he or she arrives, and staying on schedule will take you a long way towards success as a natural stylist. The front desk and salon manager can be a tremendous help if you find yourself falling behind or if you have the opportunity to add on a service and need help fitting it into your day. With experience, you'll learn to accommodate late clients and add on services like a pro. Definitely something that comes with experience, but are important for your success, okay? All right, so code of conduct. Ethical conduct will create honest, stress-free relationships with these people that will not only enhance your professional image, but help operate your business profitably. Ethical conduct improves your reputation in the community and builds a client's confidence in you, so much so that your clients begin to refer others to you. Personal referrals are the best form of promotion to keep your business successful. The following is a basic code of conduct you should practice. Number one, be responsible for the energy that you bring into the salon. The service you offer is a reflection of you. Your work is an extension of yourself. Number two, give everyone the best quality you can physically offer. Be capable and competent. Number three, avoid making offers of services you cannot efficiently provide. If a client requests a style you cannot do not try to do it. Be honest with all people. Your reputation depends on it. Be courteous. You will meet people from different cultures and backgrounds. Respect their feelings, religious beliefs, and customs. Number six, comply with all state regulations. By following them, you are contributing to the health and welfare of your clients. Number seven, maintain a safe environment, not only for your clients, but your co-workers too. Sell products and services that the client's needs or wants. Do not be overzealous in promoting a particular line of goods unless you truly believe in it. Good credit is necessary if you want to borrow more money to open a business or buy a house. Good credit is built by paying your bills on time and by paying off balances in full. All right? So maintain your image. To improve and maintain a professional image, natural stylists should always look to upgrade their skills and education and work on self improvement. Whenever the opportunity presents itself, a technician should look at improving or keeping up with the following: braiding and styling techniques, industry innovations, management skills and technology, self image, communication skills. Okay, so that's it for that. All right, so we got a good tip on this side. Before we proceed, I'm gonna, pardon me, read that. It's about good credit and student loans, which is very important. Okay, you lose good credit by making late payments or defaulting on a loan, including your student loan. Repaying your student loan promptly is a good step toward building a good credit rating. Not paying your student loan on time will result in a poor credit rating. Here are some tips to help you when it comes to borrowing and repaying your student loans. Borrow only what you need for school and school related expenses. Know what you are borrowing, read all the information, attend and pay attention to your entrance and exit loan sessions. Pay your loan on time. Keep in touch with your loan servicer. They are here to help. Keep your paperwork organized. Know that you must repay your loan whether you drop out of school or graduate, and whether you find a job or not. Understand the consequences of defaulting on the loan. The entire loan will become due and payable immediately. Garnishment of federal income tax refunds, garnishment of wages, and ineligible to receive any additional aid, federal student aid, including grants. Okay. I'm trying to see if we can finish this today. We're gonna see, we might. All right, so personality development and attitude. Some occupations require less interaction with people than others. For example, computer programmers do not usually interact with all different sorts of people every day. Natural stylists, however, deal with people from all walks of life every day, all day. It is useful, therefore, to have some sense of how different personality traits and attitudes can affect your success. Refer regularly to the following characteristics of a healthy, positive attitude to ensure that they match your self description. Diplomacy, being assertive, is a good thing because it helps people understand your position. However, it is a short step from assertive to aggressive or even bullying. Take your attitude temperature to see how well you practice the art of diplomacy. Diplomacy, also known as tact, is the ability to deliver truthful, even sometimes critical or difficult messages in a kind way. Okay, it doesn't have the one that I like to include in there, direct. Direct communication can be considered as diplomacy also. And from experience, I've had some conversations here, recently about how everyone's not used to that and how that can too be perceived as, one being aggressive or harsh or, you know, semi-bullying or something like that. But the speaker, and myself in some cases have been, is more considered direct. We don't want any misunderstandings or, lack of clarity or confusion if we can avoid that. So finding a healthy boundary and line is important. But I think the second part to this is the key, okay? So pleasing tone of voice, okay? The tone of your voice is an inborn personality trait, but if your natural voice is harsh or if you tend to mumble, you can consciously improve by speaking more softly or more clearly. Also, if you have a more positive attitude, this will shine through in a pleasant delivery, even if your tone or voice is not ideal. Now, this a real life experience, I'm talking here, you can catch some of my other content and, you know, different work that I do or different things that I've shared, even through this um, masterclass thus far. My tone is different today than some other days. I can feel the difference. Um, so I know it can be heard also. That has come from me lightening my energy, me, I don't want to call it a vent session, but therapy session. I thank the individual who, gave me the ear to kind of just, get things off my chest that I had been needing to, that had some pent up underlying anger that I wasn't necessarily taking out on anyone, but it was there. I could feel it. And it definitely made a difference in my tone was more aggressive. My energy was definitely more masculine. There's a difference, okay? So now that I'm feeling lighter, more of my feminine energy, my tone reflects that, okay? I'm just using myself as an example because, that's going to make sense for who it makes sense for, okay? All right, so nurturing the whole person. I say that to say some of the things we can control when we are aware of it, and that's where self-awareness definitely comes in. You'll hear me talk about that a lot, okay? Nurturing the whole person. A holistic approach to nurturing the client is one of the unique aspects of this rewarding industry. The natural stylist focuses on the client's physical, psychological, and emotional needs. The client deserves to have a unified self, to connect the inside self with the outside one. A holistic approach to natural hair services integrates these factors into a program designed for the client's complete well-being. This includes a healthy and balanced diet, vitamins, and supplemental herbs and regular exercise. It also includes dance, yoga, biking, playing sports, and living more consciously to replenish our bodies, our minds, and our earth. How we live in the world affects the world. Our community, our homes, our families, our careers, and our bodies. An external stressor could be as simple as waiting in heavy morning traffic. Internal stressors could include anger, depression, anxiety, as well as consuming processed foods with preservatives and sugary drinks. The stylist must be knowledgeable of some of the external and internal stresses that affect the client's total well-being. We will discuss how to integrate nutrition and healthy hair in chapters 7 and 8. With this harmonized approach to natural hair care, The stylist views the client's beauty and health as being equally important. A natural stylist must never endanger the client's hair in order to create a fashionable style. The natural stylist view is better to prevent than to cure. Avoiding harsh chemicals, abusive tools, and excessive styling and heat practices are preventative measures in keeping hair healthy. Okay, that's been my motto from the beginning. Okay, good hair is healthy hair for sure. Okay, all right. Your health. Healthy hair is the result of a healthy body and mind. The natural stylist is acutely aware that an attractive client is a healthy client. The whole person is equal to the sum of his or her parts, and as a result, a healthy client will have healthy hair. Our quote unquote inner health is reflected in our hair. Good nutrition, exercise to maintain good circulation, and a peaceful or stress free state of mind are the components to healthy hair. We do not live in a vacuum, therefore, our environment affects our hair. Poor air and water quality, lack of vitamin D from the sun, and stressful work or home environments are some of the external pressures that affect the hair and cause hair loss. The holistic approach. With the holistic approach, the stylist is aware of these interrelated factors and is capable of educating clients, raising client consciousness, and reconnecting them with their natural hair. And so, with the Natural Hair Care Salon, the stylist offers a quieter, relaxed, spa like environment that includes soothing music, proper lighting, ample ventilation, and inspiring or invigorating colors. Building client trust through touch. Oh man. Ooh, circulation is something. I'll stretch, get up and stretch for a second. Been sitting for a while. Okay, I'm gonna read standing up for a second. Okay. Building client trust through touch. Touch is a form of therapy and healing. Being touched and having the ability to touch is a vital human need. The natural hair care professional is basically licensed to touch. Touching another person and being touched is important to our emotional, physical, and total well being. It is a part of communication. A simple touch makes us feel connected, reduces anxiety, creates bonds, and can improve our appearance. For professional natural hairstylists, their hands are healing tools that help build client trust. Shampooing, massaging, braiding, or locking should be calming, lulling, and gentle. The client should always be in a relaxed state. Some protective styles with are more soothing than others. In cases where the braiding may be more stressful, you should inform the client before starting the service. The touch used in providing any natural or braiding service not only is a relaxing technique, but also can be a stimulating technique. A soft but firm, deliberate touch is what will create the style. When braiding, the stylist executes the technique by using the fingertips, not the entire weight of the hand. Within a period of 1 year, a stylist may service each client at least 6 to 12 times. During this service, a stylist is privy to many of the client's life changing experiences, such as births, deaths, graduations, divorces, and weddings. This sharing and personal exchange leads to an extended family-like environment within the salon. The trust that evolves over time creates a bond and a sense of security that positions the stylist as a client's confidant. The stylist's touch is also therapeutic and nurturing to the client. The repeated massaging and touch releases stress and begins to break down the client's inhibitions. The client becomes more open spiritually and emotionally. The natural stylist's goal is to reassure and comfort the client so that he or she makes the right styling choices. The stylist must also realize that healthy hair is more than what is used topically on the head. Healthy hair is the result of a healthy body and mind. For example, in our hectic lives, stress can be a major factor in certain hair loss problems. So, in a natural hair care salon, it is imperative for the specialist to offer a quiet, relaxed, spa-like environment. Services that will begin to set the tone for the client-stylist relationship may be a relaxing shampoo/massage followed by a soothing steam treatment. Okay? Hair doctors. Some clients look at the stylist to motivate, nurture, and respond to their day-to-day life stories. I don't know if that can, the cooling system, the air just came on and it's like loud. I feel like it's drowning me out. I hope the audio quality is good because I just realized it was only like halfway up. Hair doctors. Some clients look to the stylist to motivate, nurture, and respond to their day to day life stories. At this special moment, a more personal bonding takes place between the client and stylist. The relationship between the natural hairstylist and the client can be compared with the relationship between a doctor and a patient. In that sense, natural hair care specialists become more than artists or hair designers. They become what those in the industry typically call hair doctors. The client stylist intimate contact generally begins with these three procedures. One, a relaxing, rhythmic shampoo that is also a stress releasing scalp massage. It removes more than dirt and oil. It also removes the client's inhibitions, tensions, and clarifies. Number two, conditioning treatments ranging from stimulating and refreshing to slow and relaxing. Create a soothing aromatic experience. Number three, herbal rinse or protein conditioning to fortify the hair. While the stylist performs these three procedures, clients may begin to expose their flaws and their concerns. As a client becomes more comfortable to the specialist, the stylist often begins to see a different side of that client's personality. This relationship intensifies as the client reveals his or her imperfections. The interaction builds to a level of total acceptance as the client experiences less fear and self doubt. This acceptance also allows the client to feel safe and not judged. Acceptance and a wonderful shampoo/conditioning experience deepens the relationship between the stylist and the client. Trust starts to flourish. Okay? Maintaining a professional attitude. maintaining a professional attitude. The key to a professional relationship with your clients is learning to develop effective communication skills and maintaining a level of professionalism without alienating the client. Here are some of the various forms of communication: attitude, tone of voice, body language, manner of dress, and personal grooming. Okay. Styles of communication. People have three basic communication styles: passive, aggressive, and assertive. Number one, passive underacts, underreacts. Okay, so passive, also known as, or is equivalent to underreacting. So underreacts to situations. Okay, so a passive person, or let me rephrase that. A person with a passive communication style tends to underreact to situations. There we go. Trying to summarize it from what we have here. People who use this style almost never take responsibility for mistakes. They let others make decisions for them and usually have a soft, low voice and have a low self-esteem. Okay? So number two is aggressive. The aggressive usually overreacts to situations. A person using this communication style takes too much responsibility for others, gives unasked for advice, makes decisions for other people, criticizes, has a loud voice, is pushy and or bossy, always knows better than everyone else. Okay? So it says criticizes, whether it's constructive or otherwise. Okay, and number three is assertive. This is the effective, communication style in a positive, effective in a positive way. Someone using this style reacts to situations appropriately, is willing to listen, is open, has high self-esteem, shares observations and respects others' viewpoints, presents a good attitude, stays balanced, controls emotions, and does not let emotion control her. By using effective communication techniques, the client and stylist become more comfortable in one another's presence. Good communication also helps the stylist to meet the client's expectations. Clients often view the stylist as a professional simply because they think of a professional as one who earns his or her livelihood by performing specific skills and services. Therefore, at all times, the stylist must project a proper image and positive attitude, be of good character, and adhere to simple moral codes of ethics. Okay, so there's also a role-playing activity here in the book on page 70 in chapter 3. If anyone could benefit from that, Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and finish this today, honey. Can we get it done in this hour? Potentially. Preparing clients for the natural hair care service. Keeping in mind that the special relationship between the client and stylist is holistic, the kinds of services a specialist provides are mostly therapeutic, not in a medical sense, but in a manner that gives the salon a soothing spa-type quality. The average client who walks into a natural hair salon generally has a history of chemically treated hair. The client is looking for someone to guide him or her through the transition of quote-unquote going natural or wearing quote-unquote chemical-free hairstyles. For clients who have suffered any amount of hair loss or scalp damage, the natural stylist or braider is particularly needed to restore, treat, and correct the abused hair. For clients who have little or no history of chemically treated hair, the specialist can offer preventative services to aid the client. Clients with natural, healthy hair are offered an array of sculpting and grooming services to maintain healthy hair. In some cases, the stylist can work in conjunction with a dermatologist or help clients with scalp disorders to treat and camouflage their hair loss. The natural stylist is available to coach clients in discovering themselves without the use of chemicals, to help them abandon the social confines of what is traditionally accepted as beautiful, and to redefine their natural aesthetic. The following basic hair care services are particularly essential for the natural stylist. Help clients understand and appreciate the natural beauty that is inherently their own, historical photos and braid style books. Focus on the positive attributes of textured hair, its strength, luster, and ability to grow. Help clients to see their hair's potential by demonstrating the benefits and features of new products. Redefine how clients view their hair by teaching them to respect their hair in its natural state. Build client self-confidence by helping them to look good as well as feel good about their natural state, and demonstrate and explain the internal and external factors that directly affect healthy hair. Nurturing the client's total well-being. When the stylist has gained the client's trust, the client respects the stylist as a professional, and there is a clear understanding of what services are being provided. The final step is the client-stylist relationship is learning how to nurture the client's total well-being. Perhaps in no other field of cosmetology today is this aspect of hair care so vital to the natural stylist and braid designer. Protective styles, braids, and locks have been controversial in the workplace. Some salons provide counseling for clients determined to wear what is culturally aesthetic to them, as well as for the clients who have been the object of discrimination. It's funny how there's a figure or an example that says 311, and that's my birthday, and I promise you I have spent a great deal of my career doing just that. Intricate braiding styles and fashions can take 8 to 10 hours, sometimes days to complete. They are generally not disposable hairdos that can be washed away or brushed out. With proper care, a braiding pattern can last up to 3 months. Clients must understand that they will be living with a particular hairstyle for long periods of time. Therefore, they must be committed to the hair design and have a positive self-image to carry it off through what can be called a quote-unquote hair recovery / transitional phase. This transitional phase consists of the time and or process in which the client's hair grows significantly in length and volume. This process can take several months or up to 2 years depending on the damage level of the hair and the hair length the client wishes to obtain. Okay, so hair goals. Referring clients to other stylists. It is not unusual for a stylist to refer clients to another stylist simply because a client is too apprehensive and not quite ready for the total natural or braided look. The last thing a stylist wishes to do is spend hours on a braiding style and have the client reject it, demanding that all the braids be removed. Not only is it time consuming for the stylist, but it could mean a loss of income for the business. Consultations, which are discussed in Chapter 4, are extremely important in determining a client's readiness, especially when the client wants the ultimate natural style blocks. Your clients are looking for someone to guide them through the transition to going natural. The principles of nurturing and supporting clients are not simple matters. For most hair salons, some clients have put their jobs in jeopardy simply because they choose to wear natural or African braid styles to work. At the start of the client stylist relationship, a stylist must decide what level of support to offer the client. Another aspect of the client's well being is helping him or her to understand the general physical connection to having healthy hair, beauty, wellness. Because this is a process of re education for many clients, the stylist may have to discuss support and the client about a nutrient rich diet, supplements, herbs, botanicals, and oils or butters. All right. So be observant of your client. When working with a client, a stylist can quickly identify early signs of stress and thinning hair. This problem is more readily observed when the hair is natural as opposed to being chemically treated. With chemically treated hair, such problems as hair loss, thinning, and breakage can be directly related to hair products. So these problems are not often seen as stress-related hair loss, yet helping clients learn to cope with stress may be another way for the stylist to support their total well-being. Once again, good communication skills will help determine the needs of each client. To support the well-being of the client, the stylist must be prepared to do the following. Number one, coach the client through the hair recovery and or transitional phase of natural hair care. Two, dispel the myths and stigmas of naturally textured hair. Three, educate the client about health and nutrition, suggest reading materials, and provide relevant information. Four, refer new clients to other clients who are successfully wearing natural and African hairstyles. Five, keep an open dialogue with the clients to allow them to release and discuss their concerns. I hesitated because I read something that's like, I actually had a private group that I created, but I haven't promoted, and that just gave me an idea that it may be time. Number six, follow up with clients, helping them to see themselves as others see them. Okay? Ethical conduct will create honest, stress-free relationships with those around you. Sharing and personal exchange leads to an extended family-like environment within the salon. There are basically three styles of communication: passive, aggressive, and assertive. The natural stylist is available to coach clients in discovering themselves without the use of chemicals. The final step in the client-stylist relationship is learning how to nurture the client's total well-being. Help the client to understand the general physical connection to having healthy hair. All right, so in closing for this chapter, we have a myth. There's usually a myth at the end of each chapter, and this one is pressed hair is natural and can return to its original texture. Okay? Although thermally pressed hair is mechanically straightened with direct heat and not chemically, it is not virgin. Natural hair is unaltered virgin hair. Using excessive heat on textured hair can permanently damage the curl pattern, oil, or coil configuration. In some cases, after only one service with a hot comb or flat iron, the natural hair texture will never go back to its natural curl. There are better options to lengthening and elongating natural hair that will allow the tresses to return to their original texture without causing breakage or damage. Gentler, controlled heat with professional blow dryers that are temperature controlled and stretching the hair can offer straight options while keeping the hair healthy. All right, so we have 6 review questions here. We can, answer them, reflect on them, write them down and go back and answer them, whatever you choose, but I'm just sharing them. Okay, so number 1, what are the 3 bad habits that can help you from reaching and or maintaining your peak performance? Number 2, list 3 ways a stylist can improve and maintain a professional self-image. 3, true or false, the stylist views the client's beauty and health as being equally important. 4, define life skills. Why are life skills important to have as a natural stylist? 5, what are 3 basic styles of communication? Which style of communication is the most effective when dealing with clients and co-workers in a natural salon? And 6, why is reflective listening important? All right, so that's quite exciting that we were able to complete the entire theory portion for this week in one day, okay? So I made a sacrifice this evening to get that done, but it will allow me to focus on my other business without having to worry about this part tomorrow. So that's pretty cool. All right, so the next chapter that we will pick up with next week is chapter 4, the professional consultation. We are going to do the theory, and I'm also going to demonstrate what that looks like. I actually have a actual consultation form built into my website, the network, when new clients go to book, and I'm going to explain how I've made that process more innovative and creative and just kind of reflective of my business, what I've learned from experience, and where we're taking that into the future in this industry, and more specifically with natural hair care and styling. So I'm looking forward to chapter 4 next week. But yes, tomorrow, I know I said today that I was gonna show up with just my natural hair and do a twist out, but due to my rest being interrupted by some neighbors having a disagreement 6 o'clock this morning, that my flow this morning. So with that being said, it's all good. It's probably payback for me playing T.I. Run It last night late. It probably disturbed them. Who knows? I don't know. But we all have room to learn and do better, right? But with that being said, we will be taking this down. So I let it air dry since Saturday evening. And to touch, it still feels a little damp. So I'm going to use my hand dryer and go over it for a little bit before we actually go to take the rods down. And I'm going to show the takedown process, my technique, and achieving the Afro curly look that we're going for. And because I'm planning on wearing that. I think tomorrow, you know, I'll have my natural hair out because we know this is a Runway Curls Baby Naps unit. So um, I'll have my twist. Even if it's time to take them out, I'll just wear my twist and you can see what that looks like. I don't know, it's been what, like 4 to 6 weeks. So you'll be able to see what my protective style looks like 4 to 6 weeks underneath, you know, the wig. Whether it's a twist out or still the twist in, we'll see. All right, I got some other work to do, but we'll be picking up, inshallah, God willing, tomorrow with part 2 of this week's week 3 natural hair care and styling masterclass. All right, till next time.